What's going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami. So like I always say, we're for the casuals on this channel, but this game was a little excessive with the team damage. I got downed so many times by teammates, and I don't think it was them being new. I think it was them just kill thirsting. I want you guys to pay attention to how many times this happens, because it got me killed endlessly. Like, it was really excessive. I usually don't complain about this, but I just think this is a problem a lot of people have, is that they care about their own stats, and you're kind of ruining other people's times by hitting people from behind. And this guy's got an invisible weapon, which is interesting. And I've been in Xbox parties or Discord calls with people who get really stressed out about every little hit, and that stuff doesn't really bother me, because if you think about the mentality behind it, a lot of times your teammates are trying to help you, and maybe they're not using a stab or an overhead and they hit you with a reckless slash. It happens. But when it was like this was just unbelievable. So anyway, stay tuned for that. We're going to keep track of how many times it happens. And we're going to use the greatsword. Been a little bit since we used this one, I feel like. And thanks, Stronghold's always good fun, so let's get into it. I really have trouble fighting good ambushers, so if they're using their throwing knives correctly, like that guy seemed to be doing, I am more than happy for my teammates to try and take him on while I get back to the objective. So we're starting to get the upper hand on this guy with the war axe, but he gets a hit and then runs away. Not really a fan of that, but we'll take it as a chance to go heal and get back to the objective. And now we got a pretty good defense set up here, so we're going to help out these guys by the ballista. We're not going to use the ballista, of course. We don't do that on this channel. And the greatsword's overheads are just nasty. Like, as long as you don't fall into the trap, I bring this up every time I use it, of those heavy dragged overheads. The heavy overheads are so good. They do so much damage. They even one-shot archers, if you didn't know. Shout out Seasick Khan. He probably would like to know that if I haven't told him. Not even sure what happened here, because it looked like we had such a good defense set up, and I guess they just got by everyone. Even looking back, I was a little confused. And now we send this archer to the Shadow Realm with a heavy overhead. Like I said, it's a one-shot. Make him reconsider his choice in class. A lot of people are running away, not a fan. Giving it a little bit ahead here just because there's a lot of walking around waiting for stuff to happen. But I noticed that to the left tower, they're starting to make a push over here. So we're going to go try and defend here. That center one really does tend to go last, so I don't think that was really the right call to hang out there for so long. May as well go check this one out. And this guy with the longsword is giving me some trouble. And now I'm back here. I really can't see what's going on at this point, because the snow messes with my eye issues a little bit, and down we go. I really couldn't see with the tree, but I do think the guy with the longsword was going to kill me regardless. He seemed like a very good player. So now they're starting to really take control on this first stage. All of them have barrels. They're doing exactly what they should. My teammates don't really seem like they're doing anything too wrong either. I mean, you're going to see the team damage when I start piling up the deaths, but as of right now, they really are in solid position. We're doing a solid job defending on this side. I wonder if maybe I should have been like further back, all the way back at the tower, kind of like a last line of defense. As a knight, I always feel like I should be further up in the front lines though, but they do get the tower. Now we're going to take a long walk back. We actually didn't even take a forward spawn, but we're going to skip ahead because it was a walk. So the first few lives really were pretty good. I'm not going to count that as team damage. That guy was obviously mistaken. Like, that happens. He's a default skin as well. But we really haven't been hit by our team too much. So now we're going to fight alongside them here. We actually end up doing team damage. We say sorry. They're not going to do that later when they start hitting me. Don't worry about that, because you'll see. Trust me. Despite the theme of the video, the people next to me see me with low health and are actually doing a very good job of not hitting me. So we're going to fight here, but a spear is always a death sentence in a 1vx, and we kind of just accept our fate there. I promise I'm not under the influence here when I'm walking into their stabs and just walking directly into them. I don't really know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking at all, maybe, but that is the expected result there. So here we're going to get the Jon Snow gif on meth, because I have eye issues, as I mentioned earlier. I thought I saw an allied icon like above their head. Alas, it was not. We are fighting their entire 32-man team. We actually do manage to get 3 of them down with us, though. So I believe we just got hit by a ballista on our own team. We survived because the friendly ones do less damage. That stopped my healing, I think. I'm not really sure how it works. So we're going to go start healing up, get the ammo crate, war cry by accident, just console things. And now we're going to get back into the fray. We get hit by a ballista again. This is when the nightmare is going to start. Okay, guys, now that guy will give a pass. But we just got hit by a friendly ballista 2 times in a row. It's only going to go downhill from here, I promise. I'm not really sure why people enjoy using siege equipment in the first place unless they're doing the objective, like the catapults on that last stage. It doesn't make sense to me, and also this kind of goes to speak to their mentality where they just want to pad their stats, because he's willing to kill me at the cost of killing someone else. And great job by the real Richard Nix. I want to shout him out. He's gotten me a few times with that longsword. He seems like a very good player. Shout out him. This was a very satisfying kill, so I get the counter feint at the last second, counter that overhead while stepping behind him to get the kill. Very good fight there. So now we get downed by a teammate, first of many. You'll never guess what happens next, by the way. I'm going to come in and clean up some kills for this guy because he looked like he was in a bit of trouble, and he's a field engineer. Thank him for his service, guys, in the comments if you can. The true heroes of Chivalry 2, the heroes that we don't deserve. But it's coming down to the last minute, and it's getting really close. So we're going to try and fight our way back up to that banner because I got a little too far away, but alas, they get it. Not great by me. I probably should have been sticking a little closer. Really extended 1vx here, and it was interesting because I handled myself pretty well despite one of them having a heavy mace, which is one of the worst weapons to fight as a knight, if not the worst. Now there's a longsword involved though, so all hope is basically lost at that point. But we held our own. I'll take that. So the only thing worse than fighting a 1vx against a longsword and a heavy mace is now I'm going to be fighting a war club and a heavy mace. That fire pot really does save me until my teammate decides this. I don't really know, just down me for no reason. And that's going to be our second down by a teammate, and we get killed by an archer. At this point, I'm getting pretty frustrated because it's been a little excessive with the 2 ballistas and 2 downs already. Don't worry, we're not even like close to all of them yet. This would have been a tough look if this happened while I was recording, if he ducks me, jabs me, and kills me. Luckily, we get the block off, bait him into stabbing, and then follow through with a second swing. So good thing I didn't end up in that guy's highlight reel. But then my teammate downs me for like no reason. So that's number 3. We get killed. This was a fun 1v1 here against another good player. I wish it went on longer, but a knight does come in and help us. Good job by him. The archer just got in the way, so I give him a little bit of a stab right there. Because, like, dude, just play a different class. Now, I know this is a strategy to run away and preserve your stats or the objective, but I don't have this in me. I don't really like when people do this because my dad's voice will be in the back of my head. My dad is the living embodiment of toxic masculinity, and he would be making fun of me if I did that, even in a video game. So I think, I don't know. I would be curious what you guys think about that, what you do, because it's not a competitive game. I've talked about this before, by the way, but a lot of people are new to the channel each video. I know that proper positioning is good, but I feel like there is a line unless you're in a competitive game with a lot on the line or whatever. Because at the end of the day, your death, it's just a death. You don't have to lose your dignity over it. Anyway, moving on. So it was down to the last minute. I fight my way over and turn it off, but I think the other side was on as well, or I just didn't do it in time. Either way, we're going to go on to the next objective. So in the moment, I was pretty annoyed when I got killed by my teammate here with the battle axe. It says he was the one that killed me, not the enemy. But let's be real, I was almost dead. I get down, and he's just swinging, and I'm like at low health. So we're going to give that guy a pass, but it was just one thing on top of all the other ones that really made it just frustrating, but it wasn't really his fault. If anything, it was my fault. I have manners and self-awareness, so when I do team damage, I say sorry. Hand up, this one's on me. I should have expected an archer to be a bad teammate and be selfish, so that's kind of my fault, not really his. He is what he is. I should know better. My teammate archer downs me and we get killed. Now I'm going to miss a bunch of swings where I could have just feasted on archers and ruined their days, but I don't know what happened there. At least we got one of them. That was tough to look at, though. I'm sure it was tough to watch. Despite all the team damage, this team really did defend well. I don't really know what that was about, or why they kept hitting me like I was the enemy, like it was their job. I think it was like 5 or 6 takedowns, then they killed me once, the ballista hit me twice. And if you guys want to check out the videos above, I would really appreciate it. There's one where I didn't pay attention to positioning at all, and then there's a recent one where I did really well in Line Spire, if you guys want to check that out too. Love Line Spire. Anyway, love you guys. See you in the next one.